and welcome everybody to Tasty Tuesdays. I'm Lorene Hughes from Crafting Possibilities, and this is a Imbed with Possibilities podcast. And tonight I have the amazing, beautiful, incredible Leanne Gravelle, who's from Amazing Life Strategies, and she deals with emotions and metaphysical kinesiology. Wow, that's a mouthful. Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, goodness. So being that I'm a very, very much a newbie to emotions and metaphysical kinesiology, would you like to just take our lovely audience just through what that means just quickly, and then we'll start jumping into the little bit more juicy stuff from before then?
Cool, no problems. Look, emotions and metaphysical the EMK. I have the same trouble. This is too long. So emotions and metaphysical kinesiology helps to identify and unblock, I guess, energy blocks within your body. Sometimes what happens is we'll have certain emotions that we won't express, and over time they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and sometimes you'll find that they actually manifest into might be illness, might be pain or ailments, and emotions or EMK can help to tap into the subconscious mind. And what it does is it can help you to work out where that first time that you experience that, maybe that emotion, and it helps to clear it. It helps you to clear it.
Wow, that sounds amazing. It's just so incredible how many different ways we can tackle a problem, you know, and an issue that's going on with the body. It's like I know of several ways within what I do, but then there's always new stuff coming along, new to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
New to me coming along. And this is what I love about the things that you like. Having this podcast means that I get to have these incredible chats with beautiful beings like yourself, which then brings forward this new information into the community that I'm tapping into and that you're tapping into. And it's just such a beautiful thing. So thank you so much. How long did it take you to train in this really different way of healing?
Sure. Look, it was supposed to be done in round about 6 months to a year. And then COVID sort of decided to put a bit of a spanner in the works. I think it was about 2 years before I was completely finished. There's 6 main quite intensive modules that we have to do first. It involves like case studies and everything. It's quite intensive. And then after we finish that, if we want to go further and do practitioner training, then I put my hand up for that as well. So the course is run here in South Australia. It's only being run by one person at the moment, which is Nikki from Ask the Body Kinesiology. And the original modality put together was by Denise Robinson in Victoria.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's so super cool. I love how all these things are being intuited at the moment. It's like there's just within the last few years, there's just been so many new things that were remembered. I'm going to put it that way. Remembered modalities coming through, and it's like it's just such a time of healing right now. And I know I felt that at the beginning of 2020. I was just like this. We're shifting into a massive space of healing.
Yeah.
And even though it didn't look like it was a healing space to a lot of people, all the trauma and the drama and all the stuff going on, and it was like, yet I got the sense that it was just a big time of healing. And sometimes a bit like renovation work, it's got to look really bad before it looks good again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because I just went for one session for my own personal, reasons. And I loved the session so much. I'm thinking, I need to learn this. So one session, and the rest is history.
Oh, I know. I had the same thing with access bars. It was like I was going through some stuff for myself, and it was a friend of mine said to me, I've been hearing about this thing called access bars, and I get a sense that maybe you should, it's like pinging to me to tell you about it. Maybe you should see if somebody in Adelaide can do that for you, because they were up in Queensland where it was really strong up there. And I got this lady in. I did zero research. Nothing. I just booked her in. She came to my house. She set up the massage table, said, do you know anything about this thing called access bars? And I said, nope. I was just, I should try it. So she did a session, and oh my goodness, a bit like you, I sat up on the edge of the table after that, and I was sitting there just smiling. And she's like, Judy Valero was the lady who ran that session, and she said, so how you be? And I was like, it's like every single cell in my body is happy. I don't think I've ever felt that before.
Oh, that's so cool.
And yeah,
I've been curious about that as well. I've been very curious about that, yeah.
Awesome. Hello, I'm hearing swapsies coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Anyhow, so how long have you been on your spiritual journey?
I reckon my spiritual journey, it started in my teens. It started in my teens, where I was introduced to like tarot cards and oracle cards, jewelry readings, just dabbling little bits. And then in my 20s, I decided that I wanted to find cures for diseases. So I went back to school and did chemistry, physics, and maths so I could get into microbiology. But the universe had other plans for me. I got into my second choice, which was music. And I guess it's interesting because I thought when you apply for uni, there's only one choice, but there was three. Anyway, long story short, got into uni, and it was Adelaide Uni. And at Adelaide Uni, they also study hypnosis. So while I was there, I sort of saw an ad for volunteers wanted, and I'm going, yeah, bring it on. So I sort of got exposed to what hypnosis is and had a few sessions and thought that was amazing. Then Reiki, like energy healing, when I was pregnant with my son, and I could see the change that was happening when she was doing Reiki over my belly, because the heart rate of my son was it was fluctuating. It wasn't going well. So she did Reiki over my belly, and we could see, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. So, I mean, obviously parenthood then takes over and things get put on the back burner, but just still the peak, the interest. And then there was meditation classes and chakra workshops and, what else? So much. Timeline therapy, and I did Cert 4 in life coaching, a bit more hypnosis, and just mix it all up. And yeah, I did EFT tapping, and just lots of stuff. And then just recently Reiki. So it's all in the mix.
I can completely comprehend and understand and resonate with all of that. Yeah. And I love it when you get to a point with your spiritual journey and your healing talents and tools where it's no longer about, I learned this from this person and this person from this person. It all sort of just starts mushing together in your sessions as being your magic. And it's like you get to then follow the energy of where it's going, and it's just with whatever the client is requiring at the time, and it's just so awesome. I have no qualms about mixing modalities, as they say these days, because there is times within a session that a little piece from here is required, and then a bit from over there, and a bit from there, and a bit from there, and a bit from there. And that's how you can best support that client through that piece of their journey.
Yeah.
And, I just don't agree with keeping it to one modality if I know lots, because that's why they're coming to me, because they are
Yeah.
intrinsically aware that I have this vast variety of tools to use, and that's why they've chosen to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also all the goodies that I have learned over time, like it's like a facet of every single thing that I've ever learned has all come together in emotions and metaphysical kinesiology, because I can use the natural remedies as part of the session. And so everything I've ever learned, I can add that to my remedies list and just give the client so much more than, you know, I've got more that I can offer there. So that's very, very cool. And the other people that I did the course with, you know, they've got Reiki backgrounds and everything. So we're making it our own, and it's very, very cool.
Oh, that's so awesome. What would a typical session, if somebody, like I say typical, understanding that there's never a typical session, but what sort of what would a typical session with you look like?
Okay, so generally the first 10 to 15 minutes is just getting to know a little bit about your background and, you know, maybe health issues, the reason you've come in. Yeah, just sort of, you know, generalize things. Then we get you up on the table and we make sure that we've got a connection with the body, so we can get the muscle reflex testing that we use to determine if there's a weakness or strength in the muscle. When we challenge certain things, a session is, yeah, there's no sort of like fixed session. It can go so many different ways depending on what the client needs at the time. So yeah, we just make sure we've got the body on board, so to speak, and then we just find out where the energy blocks are, and we can work with meridians in the way of acupressure. We can work with the chakras. We can work with sound therapy, aromatherapy. What else? Oh, there's heaps of things. There's heaps of things you can sort of work out. But it's actually very cool, because sometimes the client will have a goal for the session. And when we actually challenge and tap into the subconscious mind, we're actually asking the body, is this the best goal for this person? And sometimes we get a no answer. And it's like, okay, we need to go a bit deeper here. And the client sometimes is like, oh, do we have to? Well, you know what? If you want to clear some stuff, let's, you know, I'm by your side. I'm here with you. And, you know, non-judgment, just let's do this. And so one of the lady who created the course had a saying, you've got to feel it to heal it. And I think that is very, very cool and very relevant. So yes, and a session generally goes for 90 minutes. So it's a decent amount of time. It's not like a, you know, you're in, out, off you go sort of thing. It's like you've got to have your 90 minutes and just know that it's for you and it's healing you.
Yeah, I agree. Like for me, my sessions are generally a 90-minute session as well.
Yeah.
And some of them are 2 hours, but it just depends on which one they're grabbing. But yeah, to get that really deep level of healing, I think it is quite important for this, because I mean these emotions and things that we get stuck in our bodies have been there often a long time. It's not often something that's just new. It's exactly. Layer upon layer upon layer. It can be quite ingrained, and to be able to release that gently, it's like it requires just that little bit longer. You know, you just got to tease it out from different angles and different edges. Is that sort of how it works for you too?
Sorry?
Is that how it works for you too?
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, if you take a client, you know, if something tests up for the client, for instance, when you're muscle testing, that it happened in early childhood, an issue that you might be having today might be anxiety, for instance. And if when challenging and testing the age of, say, for instance, 7 comes up, you might not have known as a 7-year-old that you were experiencing anxiety, but it may have been a similar situation, and maybe that's where it started. And that's where we need to work to heal. And then it sort of, I guess, acts like a step back towards now where we're releasing. Similar to timeline therapy.
Yeah. So cool. So if we step back in time, as we say, like, I'd like to know, because, you know, with your journey starting sort of in your teens with the tarot and all sorts of things like that, over this period of your life, I'm curious, have you sort of developed for yourself an idea of what consciousness means to you?
Consciousness means, to me, it's like an awareness that we're part of something so much bigger than myself. Connection to everything. Just being a part of, like, being a part of everything. And, you know, not thinking small, just like, you know, we are small in the scheme of things, but we are just so much connected to everything. And I think that's what consciousness means to me, like, to know that, I don't know how else to explain it.
No, that's absolutely perfect. It's quite an interesting question to raise, because a lot of people don't think about it until you ask the question, and they're like, oh, actually, I do have an opinion on that, and I do have thoughts about that, and oh gosh, what do you know? That's why I asked the question, because it's interesting to get different people's perspectives on what that looks like. Yeah. So what is the aim of your business?
My aim of my business is to be able to where I can guide people to uncover their story, to help them heal, because I think so many people just put up with perhaps I've got to be careful how I say this, a diagnosis that says nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. You know clearly that you're experiencing pain or discomfort, and you've had so many tests. No, nothing's wrong. I want to be there for that person, to give them another avenue to look at, to see if we can uncover some suppressed emotions that may help to release that pain. That is one of my main aims, because I feel really passionate about that. The other aim for my business is to actually take me into my retirement, so I can slowly phase out my 9 to 5 and have this as something that I can offer to people for as long as I'm able.
Yeah, I love that. I love that too. That's a big part of why I have my healing business. It's like, because I know that the healing side of my life is sustainable. It is something that I can continue on for many, many, many years. Like, this other work that I do at the moment, the very physical stuff, may not be able to. You know, I may not desire to do it even more than a year or two. Or whatever, you know. It's like, but for now it's fun, you know. But there is certainly an aspect of looking at that longevity. And so I love that you have that as part of your business plan, because I don't know that many people think about it that way. You know,
I guess because I'm sort of, you know, thinking about retirement soon, and thinking, you know, it'll be so nice to, it just feels like that's where I'm supposed to be going. So it's like it's all it's all like my getting my ducks in a row.
Yeah. I love it. What do you have any stories that you could share, like, you know, testimonials as such of some of the work that you've done?
I've got a couple. It hasn't been I don't have them sort of with me, but I've had when one person had come to see me, and she was having issues with her eyesight, and she was just feeling like it was blurrier than normal, and it wasn't one of the main things that she'd come in for. And a couple of weeks later, she'd actually said, it feels like my eyesight has cleared up. And I'm thinking, whoa, okay. So I guess from a metaphysical point of view, what was clouding her vision at the time? So
Absolutely.
the session, I guess, helped to sort of fix that. Fix it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, the client fixes themselves. The client decides that, yes, they're willing to move past or to try and address suppressed emotion. And it's when they do that, I can guide them to do that. But I'm not the one with the magic wand. They are. They're the ones with the magic wand. And another person that came had a problem with their knee, and like x-rays and everything, and nothing wrong. And now they're not experiencing the pain anymore, which is very cool. So yeah, that can be to do with what's it, the knee. I think it's like the direction and flexibility in certain things. If it's left side of the body or right side of the body, what that can also mean. So yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. Could you explain for our lovely listeners out there, what does metaphysical mean?
Metaphysical means it's like something you can't see. You know it's there, but you can't see it. So energy, it's working with energy. It's like heat. Heat is there, but you don't always see it, like heat from the sun. I mean, you can see the waves of it sometimes, but but it's like, yeah, that's what I sort of explain it as.
Awesome. And for me, it's like when I think of kinesiology, I have no idea what that means. So could you explain what that means?
Sorry, you broke up a bit.
Kinesiology. Could you explain what kinesiology means for our lovely listeners?
Okay, sure. So it's a muscle testing process that helps to tap into the subconscious in a holistic way, with addressing the mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. So to try and get a nice balance and flow between it all.
Beautiful. Okay. I can see how all those bits fit in together now. Thank you for explaining that to me, because I had no idea. Like I said, your area
it was very brief.
Yes, your area of expertise is new to me. So this is why I'm loving having a chat to you. It's awesome. It's awesome. I'd love to know, in either your healing journey for yourself, for example, or with your clients, what has been your most tasty moment so far?
Okay, tasty moment so far. I've actually just very recently discovered that I sort of covered it before. Every aspect or every facet of everything I've ever learned has all come together to be part of Emotions and Metaphysical Kinesiology. And that was something that it was like an aha moment for me. And this is only like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago when I was just writing about what things I've done over my life. And I'm going, oh my God, this is all meant to be. And it was just, yeah, it was an aha moment. And that was pretty tasty for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had a moment back, probably quite similar to that last year, where I was doing a CJAB session. And so this is for people who have received the vaccine and having issues from it, or, just various complications, or just feeling a bit sluggish, or just not quite themselves.
Gotcha.
I've had a wide range of people, like symptoms and things of people coming in. And there was a moment, and it's a process that I've intuited myself. It's the bringing together of like several different modalities. And I'd done several sessions, and I just went, it's like I've been in training pretty much my whole life for this moment, bringing in all these different aspects and revealing and healing so much of myself, so that I would be able to do these sessions and have this depth of healing and support these people to heal in this way. I had no idea, like 5 years ago, that I would be able to do that now.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I get the same sort of thing is happening with you too. It's like there's those big, like, woof moments where it's just like, holy moly, what a privilege.
Yay.
Yeah. I just feel so honored and so privileged to have this knowledge and have the ability to offer these things to people, So I'm really super glad that that's also happening for you too, because it makes you even more potent in the offerings that you have for your people, for your clients. It's just, and it makes you even more tasty to them. They want to come and see you.
Come on.
I like that lady. Yeah. Come play. So I saw that you were in the photos you sent through. There was like a tuning fork. How does that work?
Okay, so sound therapy as part of a kinesiology session, sound waves, it's all to move energy. If there's some stuck energy, sometimes sound healing will test up, and we'll use, sometimes it's the tuning fork actually on the body, or something, it's just over the top of the body. It's whatever specifically tests up for the client at the time. So, it's very, very cool. I've got, I think I've got 2 tuning forks now, add to my collection. But I mean, there's so many you can get, all the tools you can get. I'll be broke. But you can get like all the tuning forks for the chakras, and just they're so beautiful. But yeah, I've only got 2 so far.
You'll get them all.
I will. I will.
You're 2/7 the way there.
I will. I'll put it out there.
Yes, exactly. I wonder who has some gifts of some tuning forks for you. Universe, what can we create here?
Yeah, exactly.
If we can think it, it's ours, right? It's already been created.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's what they tell me in The Happy Pocket Full of Money. Have you read that book yet?
I have not.
Oh, I think you'll like that one. Happy Pocket Full of Money. It's a great little book. You can get it on Audible.
Okay.
Because I devour stuff through Audible these days. I used to be only paperback Like, give me an actual book. I'm not going to do Kindle. I didn't want to do digital. I didn't want to do Audible. Resisted it for so long. And then I realized that Audible was awesome for helping me to get through weeding of the garden.
Okay.
Because weeding of the garden is not my favorite job. I'll do the other big physical stuff. I love mowing the lawns. I'll do the weed whacking. I'll trim the bushes and all that sort of stuff. But getting down into the ground and actually doing the weeding was really hard work on my body. And I realized part of it was because I was picking up a lot of entities that were stuck within the earth, and they were coming up and sitting in my body.
No. Off you go.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. It's like, oh, that's fun. That's why my hips kept going out, because I had all these entities sitting in my hips.
Oh no.
So yeah, that was a part of it. But anyway, and my body instinctively was like, I'm really uncomfortable. I don't really want to be here. So I would and then I learned that I had Audible, and I could happily sort of push away my body's, problems and issues with weeding by listening to Audible.
Well, that's very cool. Yeah, I haven't tried Audible yet.
Yeah, it's great. And I've learned so much because you've got such a wide variety of content within Audible. It's not sponsored, by the way. Audible, you can sponsor me if you like. Not sponsored or affiliated yet.
Yet.
But yeah, especially in the last probably couple of years, I've learned so many things from both metaphysical point of view, right through to just putting on a trashy romance novel just to, pass some time and to give my brain a break.
Yep.
Yeah, certainly. It's a fantastic way to fill in some time. Hi, Brooke. Thank you for sharing, lovely. We got over on the chat. You can see on the right-hand side, you see a little tab there.
Comments?
One that says...
comments.
Yeah.
Okay, there's comments. Hi, Brooke.
He's my fellow podcaster. Quite often, like we bounce around each other around the podcasting field. So.
Yes, I think I remember you chatting before. Yep.
And he had me on his new Sunday show on Sunday just gone, so that was really cool.
Awesome.
It's a nice intuitive reading show. So I'm curious if you could say anything to somebody just sort of starting out on their healing journey, whether it be I'll leave this up to you, whether it be in a healing journey for themselves or maybe into a spiritual business, what would be your sort of top tips? You can do both questions if you like. It's up to you.
Yeah, sure. Look, I guess finding like-minded people has been something that's been really beneficial for me. And I think that would be beneficial for somebody just starting out. Finding the like-minded people, finding groups that are, meetup groups. Because even though, you might be at different levels, like you're just starting and these people are more experienced, I believe everyone's paths cross for a reason. And even though you might not be very knowledgeable yet, the person that you're connecting with, you might actually teach them to come back to the basics. Sometimes there's so much information, and when you're at a certain level and you've got so much information, sometimes it's just like, come back down here again, come back down to the basics where this new person is, So even though you're not very experienced yet, just the networking and what you can what you can teach each other, I think that's really, really important. The support, I think that's really, really valuable. And something that I heard and don't always do, a long time ago, when you get a new idea, I read somewhere where they said, keep the new idea to yourself. I'm getting a funny throat here. This is me not honouring my truth here. Okay, there we go. Now, when you get a new idea, keep the excitement within you and let it build. The more people you tell about it when it's only in its infancy stages, it can be diluted down for you, because you have this excitement and you want to tell people, and you're so wanting to get something off the ground, for instance. And the more people you tell, sometimes you don't actually realize that when they're commenting back to you about something that you're going to do, their body language or their communication with you maybe, I actually wrote this down because I was, as you can see, I'm stumbling a bit with it here. So the non-verbal communication. So you've got around about 55% of the body language is mannerisms and facial expressions. So even though someone says, oh, that's a good idea, if they have any mannerisms that might not be congruent with what they're actually telling you, your subconscious mind will see that, even though you won't hear it. So it's actually very interesting. And 38% is voice tones. When someone is talking, around about 38% is communication is voice tones, and only 7% are the actual words themselves. So I think once you have created and have released this idea, because you've got so much energy and momentum that has built up with this idea, if anybody is sort of saying, oh, what'd you do that for? Those things are going to wash off you so much easier, because you've got so much excitement and energy and momentum already around that idea. Did that make any sense? No.
Absolutely.
I know what I meant. I don't know if it came through like oh
Don't
my
doubt
God.
yourself.
Don't doubt myself. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that absolutely makes sense. It totally does, because so often we are very much looking for the reasons not to do something. That, you know, we're so raised on judgment that, see, even Brooke said it made sense, so you're all good.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're just so conditioned to judgment, and allowing judgment to stop us from doing something.
Yeah,
it's like it's our way out.
absolutely.
It's our excuse to procrastinate, if you like, and not push something forward. But it's like you say, if you've held that container and that space for that idea to grow and bring out, that so it's a lot more solid without being solid, then I can see, it would just like whoosh, any of those judgments and comments would just go whoosh, gone.
Yeah, because there's so much energy.
Yeah, and you've got way more confidence and within about that idea, that project, whatever it is. So Really, Lorene Hughes. Yes, Brooke Hadland.
Is he hassling you? Do you need me to talk to him?
It's all right. I'll just stop him from having cheesecake.
Oh, now that's funny.
Cheesecake or mud cake? Which one would he prefer not to have this week?
Do you like caramel, mud cake, caramel?
Yes, it's the running joke. Hi, Amanda. She said, came in when talking about percentage of communication. I relate to this, as I do find it hard to hear people if I'm unable to see them. Yeah, I get that. And that's part of why I resisted Audible for so long.
Yeah.
Because I'm only hearing. I'm not seeing. I'm not feeling. I'm not, the energy of the words on the book, on the page, So yes, I can relate. Funnily enough, I actually learned those percentages back when I was at uni in my late teens, when I did a communication class. So there we go. Yeah, that was just 1 or 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Just like a couple of years ago now.
Just a couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, I would completely agree with you though. And finding your tribe, like, how did you find your tribe? Did you just find meetup groups and things like that?
Yeah. Any courses that I went to, I would, get a number of somebody, or it's funny also how synchronicity, like how you'd be interested in something and all of a sudden someone's right there that does that. I think you'd mentioned earlier who you need to be around. They just sort of, when you're putting out that sort of, this is what I want, those people, what is it, when the teacher appears or something, what is it? When the student is ready, the teacher appears or something.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. So yeah. Yeah, I know recently I've been diving into Dr. John DeMartini.
Oh, yeah.
And he talks about the values factor and talks about, the people who are closest to us are the people that are probably going to trigger us the most. And I see that as being what you were just saying about the teacher and the student. So those trigger points of like our family or our loved ones or our partners or whatever being the ones that are triggering us is because they're teaching us something. In that moment, we are
sometimes we don't want to learn it.
So, no,
I don't want to learn that today.
Everything's got to be easy. No. I know, right? It can be ease, but it's not necessarily going to be easy. And I love that. That's what you were saying right near the beginning, where you were talking about, emotions or situations to be healed have to be felt. I thought that was quite a valuable piece to just roll back around to, seeing as, we're just in this like juicy part of the conversation. Like, where do you find emotions like most common to you? Like, what do people come to you most often for at the moment?
Can be anxiety, can be frustration, can be actual back pain, like pains as well. I sort of feel like if people are coming to me with emotions, that can say that maybe it hasn't quite manifested into a pain yet. Maybe it's good that they're only coming to me with emotions. I don't know. I'm still new to this, but definitely back pain, definitely. Shoulders. You think people having, I've got the weight of the world on my shoulders. Lower back pain it can relate to financial problems. So those things are what people are generally coming for.
That's so cool. And I can imagine that as you get more and more clients, that repertoire will grow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's so cool. I'm curious, just to take a slight deviation, if you could sit next to any person, whether they be dead or alive, presumably they're in their living form, even if they're dead now, and sit next to them on a park bench for the afternoon and have a conversation with them, who would it be and why?
Okay, so this one. I was struggling with this question. I was like, oh my God, there's so many people. And I'd gone to bed last night and I'm thinking, I still don't know who to choose. Please give me an answer. Like maybe I'll have a dream. I don't know. So woke up this morning, no dream. And I'm thinking, I still don't know who to choose. And my husband said to me, who has been like an inspiration to you for the longest? And I'm going, oh, well, I really like Louise Hay. And then I'm thinking, you know what? I will talk about Louise Hay. And he was commenting, and I said, well, she did pass. And he goes, oh, I didn't know she died. And I said, let me go and check what date. And here's the irony of it all. It's actually today, 5 years ago. So there was my answer, Louise Hay. How was that?
Okay, that just gave me hardcore goosebumps.
I know. I sort of thought, oh, okay, yep. And you know what? I don't know what I'd actually say to her. I just want to bask in her energy. You know, like when she's like just talking about her story and everything. I just love to be with her. I would just love to be with her. And because it is 5 years today, I thought there is a saying that she's got that I really like, and I thought I'd just say it here. You have the power to heal your life, and you need to know that. We think so often that we are helpless, but we're not. We always have the power of our minds. Claim and consciously use your power. And I thought that was so relevant. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Louise Hay.
Wow.
Mm.
Oh, that is just so freaky and so cool. And it's like I've only dabbled a little bit with Louise Hay. My go-to is Ina Segal. She's more my go-to than Louise. Yes. But there are times certainly when like I'll look at Ina's stuff and I'll go, and I wonder what Louise would say about that. And then I'll jump over to Louise. But yeah, I actually had no idea that she'd passed either. Wow, that is so cool.
I could not believe it was the actual 30th of August. And I'm going, wow, okay. Thank you for that message.
Thank you. And thank you for your work, Louise, because it's just the amount of change and healing that she has brought to the world with her work has just been so phenomenal. And, you know, it's inspired so many of us, you, me, so many of us to do what we do, you know, whether we follow that straight down the line or whether we just weave it in through what we're doing. It's all a part of this beautiful big tapestry of healing that we get to weave every day. Yeah. And I just love that she's one of the many threads that runs through that.
I think her book, You Can Heal Your Life, would have been one of the first main books when I was really starting to be a little bit more sort of focused on the spiritual and metaphysical side of things. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've got their book, and I think I got the one with the DVD or something with it. There's a double thing going on there. I don't think I've ever watched the DVD, to be fair. It's there. Maybe I'll watch it today on the anniversary of her death.
Yeah. I mean, I have so many books with bookmarks in them. I get to a certain part and I'm going, oh, that's so cool. And I'll do something about that. And then I pick up another book and then I pick up another book. So, yeah, a bit of everything. Mix it all together.
Yeah, I do too. It's so good. I love that. I'm like, I have some not quite so complimentary names for myself with how I do that. But it's all meant in jest, and it's just like you say, that lovely big melting pot of bringing those elements together. you know. It's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I love that we have the flexibility and ability to do that in such an open way these days. You know, we have we live in a very fortunate time in a very fortunate country where we will not get stoned and all of that for practicing our healing modalities how we choose. And it's I say thank you often for choosing to live here and now. You know, so beautiful. So my love, how can people get in touch with you and to book in sessions and stuff like that?
Awesome. Okay, so they can get in touch with me via Facebook, Amazing Life Strategies, Instagram, Amazing Life Strategies, email, guess what? Amazing Life Strategies at gmail.com. So they're the main ways. They can phone me, 0434 762409.
Well done.
Phone, can you tell? That's 0434 762409. And I work out of a wellness studio at Parra Hills West, and on Fridays. I'm currently doing 1 day a week because I do my 9 to 5 job the rest of the week. And appointments are via getting in touch first, because there's no admin desk at the wellness centre, so it's like it's open via appointment only. So yeah, if anybody's interested in coming for a session, hit me up.
That is so cool. And do you have anything else that you would like to share with the beautiful audience tonight before we run away and enjoy our Tuesday evenings?
I would like to offer a special if anybody is interested in booking in for the month of September, a 20% discount on an Emotions and the EMK session. If you contact me via those, the Facebook Amazing Life Strategies, or email amazinglifestrategies@gmail.com and quote EMK20, you'll receive a discount, a saving of $30. The new client session is generally $150, and it's a 90-minute session, so you'll get it for $120.
Beautiful. Gosh, I hope loads of people out there in the month of September, make use of that particular offering, because gosh, that's a great price. And you're like, the depths I can perceive just in talking with you, the depths of healing that you'd be able to get to using all of those different techniques and methods would just yum.
It's juicy. It's good. It's good.
Tasty.
Yeah. Well, I figure, as September is spring, you spring clean your house. Come and spring clean your mind.
I love that idea. You've got to make up a graphic for that.
Yeah, should I? Watch out, Canva. I'm on my way.
Excellent. Alrighty, my beautiful beings, thank you so much for coming to play. Thank you for everybody coming to listen now and into the future. I'm so grateful for you. And if you are listening or watching this in the future, please just pop in the chat, replay or whatever, so I know when you watched, because I keep an eye on everything, on all the chats and stuff. And I am so thrilled to have had Leanne with us today. Thank you, Amanda, for coming to play and watch. And I'm looking forward to seeing you back on Friday for Find You Fridays, the intuitive reading show. And let me just double check my diary. I've been making so many bookings for Tasty Tuesdays lately. I've got my full month of September and starting into October all filled up. And next week we have Jodie Cole, who's coming to play, and I'm really looking forward to her. She's one of my very dear friends. She's a life coach, but she's done a lot of corporate life coaching. But she comes from a really different background and is also diving into a little bit more one-on-one work lately and getting into a little bit more of that sound healing type stuff and like with the little bells and things and chimes and so cool. I love it when my healing friends start playing with new tools and new things.
New toys.
Come play. I love it. So I'm really looking forward to chatting with Jodie next week. And she's just got that big, beautiful personality and much like Leanne has dabbled in lots of different things over the years. So I'm really looking forward to having a chat with her. She's the one that actually introduced me to Dolores Cannon. And I've been devouring a lot of Dolores Cannon lately too. So the learning never stops, seriously. So that's what's happening over the next little bit. Thank you, everybody, for coming to play. Thank you, Leanne, for choosing to come on to Tasty Tuesdays with me. I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you so much for the invite. Very, very much appreciated.
Yay! Alrighty, beautiful ones. I hope you have an amazing week. Get out there, do something tasty for yourself this week and make use of that special with Leanne. It sounds like you'll get some really, really amazing results. Alrighty, have a beautiful night, everybody. Bye.
See ya.